You probably heard the news and seen the headlines that say you only have 12 months to build your wealth because after that, superhuman AI is coming, AGI is happening, and that's it. There's this new AI 2027 forecast report by a former OpenAI researcher that lays out what's about to happen month by month. And it claims that by 2027, AI will reshape society more than the Industrial Revolution did. We're talking AI agents replacing entire departments from research to coding to operators. And while this sounds like science fiction and really negative, the money pouring in proves it's real. Top venture funds, including Andreessen Horowitz, Sequoia Capital, Greylock, Khosla Ventures, and others, have collectively invested roughly $160 billion into AI startups in the past 18 months, fueling some of the largest and most transformative funding rounds in the history. Meta alone has spent over $65 billion reinventing itself as an AI-first company. Here are some good news. The real opportunities aren't locked in by the giants yet. I don't know what's gonna happen later, but for now, they're open to entrepreneurs who can move fast, spot the gaps, and build tools people actually need because you are at the forefront of your problems. And the report that I mentioned before is also super clear on the fact that the early movers capture almost all the wealth. Waiting might mean you'll be too late. So in this video, I'll break down 5 AI business ideas you can launch in the next 12 months. And not just theory. You'll also hear advice from 2025 from great entrepreneurs like Reid Hoffman or Aravind Srinivas, co-founder of Perplexity, and others. The best time to start is now, before AGI. Let's dive in. Let's talk about GPT wrappers. So basically, you take ChatGPT, you reprompt it. As basic as it sounds, it's actually been a good business for a lot of people because again, you wrap it with your own expertise. And if you're deep enough in the field, your GPT wrapper is so much better than the original GPT. And this type of creating is just perfect for beginners. One of the fastest ways for newcomers to get started is using platforms like Replit, which turn natural language prompts into working apps with minimal coding. I love this example called Cal AI that was created by an 18-year-old Zach Yedegari, whose nutrition and fitness app uses AI to analyze photos of meals and quickly estimates calories. Since launching in 2023, Cal AI has been downloaded over 8 million times and is projected to generate 30 million this year, proven that innovative AI wrappers can scale quickly with smart focus and simple MVPs. These products are attractive because they solve real problems fast. And as Daniel Priestley says, that's exactly what makes them scalable for first-time founders.
So the assumption is that there is value in knowing more than the customer about a particular thing, and you collect a bit of their data, you mix it with your amazing prompts that you've put a lot of thought into. You then put that into a new UX that's better than a chat UX. And between those three things of capturing data, prompting, a set of much better prompts, and also thinking about the UX more deeply, you're now creating something that is a specialized tool that's very valuable. And a good analogy would be that, you know, 100 and something years ago, they created electricity, and the electricity was this awesome, powerful thing. But then people came up with applications for electricity, and they said, oh, we can channel this electricity and make a toaster. We can use this electricity to boil water, and we call it a kettle. Oh, what if we do this electricity into light bulbs? So they channeled the electricity into these specialized applications. And then those businesses became amazing standalone businesses. Now imagine someone came up and said, "Oh, that's just an electricity wrapper." Right? You're just wrapping electricity, It's like, yeah, I am harnessing electricity, but we're harnessing it in a very particular way in a user experience that's perfect for boiling water and perfect for toasting toast. So LLMs are the new electricity. They do this amazing language generation or image generation or multimedia generation. And then it's up to us as entrepreneurs to say, can we improve upon that through UX, through better prompting, and through better ways of capturing user data? And if we can do those three things and then wrap that up together, we can create these amazing businesses. But there's just thousands of little opportunities where you could create a 5 million a year ARR business.
So here's an action step. Pick an industry you already know and brainstorm 3 repetitive tasks you could automate. Wrap GPT around one of them, even in a simple Google Sheet Plus API, and test it with 5 to 10 real users a week. Let's pause for a quick tip. This is super relevant for anyone building a business or scaling their brand in 2025. HubSpot just dropped the AI-powered viral toolkit, basically your personal GPT marketing strategist already trained on the most successful campaigns of 2025. With this free toolkit, you'll get Go Viral access to ChatGPT, a custom-trained AI that asks the right questions and delivers viral strategies tailored to your platform, audience, and industry. 15 specialized prompts, battle-tested frameworks for competitor research, trend hijacking, crisis management, and platform optimization. 50+ proven hooks, opening lines and angles that trigger curiosity, shock, relatability, and inspiration. My favorite part is the Go Viral GPT itself, because it feels like having a full marketing team in your pocket 24/7 that actually understands your brand and audience and gives you strategies that adapt in real time. Download it for free and start building campaigns that don't just boast content, they spread, engage, and grow. Link is in the description. And big thanks to HubSpot for sponsoring this video. Business idea number 2, AI marketing and media, and it has one of the easiest entry points. AI marketing tools automate content creation like captions, hashtags, voiceovers, and translations, helping creators and companies scale efficiently. A standout example here for me is Poppy AI, a bootstrap startup that grew to over $500,000 in monthly recurring revenue within its first year by helping marketers, and honestly content creators like me, we use them all the time, easily create viral social media content. So basically create a mind map with the reels or piece of content that you like. You also feed Poppy AI with your ideas and it comes up with a perfect post. And Poppy's success once again proves how powerful focused AI marketing tools can be, especially when solving real pain points with simple subscription pricing. Just brilliant. But if you're not into content creation, there is another exciting opportunity: building and monetizing your own AI voice. Voice AI is booming as more companies and creators want custom, high-quality voices for branding, advertising, and communication. Here is what Mati, founder of 11 Labs, shares. I have this number here where you paid $2 million in royalties to people who kind of share their voices with 11 Labs. Can you talk about that? How can people start making money by
Yeah.
share their voice with 11 Labs?
So it's one of the efforts we launched in the early days, where we effectively created a voice marketplace, voice ecosystem, where every person can create their own voice, go through authentication flow. You need to record roughly 30 minutes or more of you speaking. Then you have a perfect replica of your own voice that speaks in the language you recorded, plus all the language we support. So you have usually 30 or so different variations. Now, with the new model we are releasing, it will be 70. So so you have the voice that's now available for your own use. And then if you decide, you can share it to our marketplace. And if you share it to our marketplace, a specific period of time, specific conditions of what you are sharing it for, then other people can use it across 11 Labs ecosystem. And when your voice is being used, you get paid back as a result. This way, we have now almost 10,000 voices that people shared and created. What is incredible is it spans so many different languages, accents, different styles. So, like now, if you are logging to the platform, you just have this incredible plethora of voices, and we pay voice time back. So it was, I think, $2 million at the beginning of the years that we paid back, and now I think last time I checked, it was a few months ago, we paid back $5 million
Wow.
to the entire community.
How
And
much
it's
does
growing.
an average voice creator make?
So it really depends. I think it'll be a lot of people in like a few $100 per month category. And that's probably what you could expect if you do a little bit of that effort, and what you could earn.
And here's your action step. Record 10 minutes of your voice, clone it with 11 Labs, and list it on Fiverr or voices.com. Test if anyone will buy your AI version. Maybe you have a unique accent. Maybe you have a unique tone that people like. It's a fast experiment that costs nothing. Number 3, agentic AI or AI employees. Very accessible, especially with today's no-code tools. Agentic AI is one of the most exciting frontiers in 2025. They are not just chatbots. They are autonomous AI employees that can complete multi-step tasks. We live in this kind of bubble, and it feels like everyone in the world is already using AI. But once you step out of your bubble, you realize there are so many businesses struggling with automating tasks because they don't know, like they have no idea. They're not watching YouTube. There's this old school brick and mortar, real estate agency that doesn't use AI at all. You could be that person that comes in and says like, hey, I can automate this for you because I figured it out. And the best part, you don't even need to be a programmer. There are no-code platforms like Replit that I mentioned. There's also Cursor, Lovable. My husband is upstairs coding something right now. He's not a coder, but 4 weeks ago, he had no idea how to code. Now he just told me he coded an AI COO for himself to track how his employees work. The key here is to pick a vertical, restaurants, real estate, e-commerce, whatever you like more, and build an AI employee that removes the most painful bottleneck. Choose your niche wisely, talk to your customers, and build something, because I feel this is where the largest opportunity lies. You can be automating things for brick and mortar businesses who just figured out their websites and they haven't really figured out their social media strategy, and now they have to figure out AI. You can be the person helping them. And here's what Samir Vasavada, co-founder at Wise, shares.
We had 150 people, 160 people at one point in time, and now we are closer to 40. And we are doing 10 times better from a metric standpoint with 40 people than what we were doing with 160 people.
What changed? AI?
I think AI changed. I think scalability changed, like the idea that how do we think about automating everything we do? And I think sometimes with AI, sometimes with this kind of idea that we are going to manage 10 times the amount of accounts next year and 20 times the account the years after, how do we figure out, how do we design everything from scratch from a scalability standpoint? So a good example is like client service. So we had a 6-person, 7-person client service team that was automatic, like they were manually sending out DocuSigns and, doing account openings and processing and all of these different things. And now we have a 3-person team or 2-person team that handles probably 20 to 30 times the amount of accounts we had back then. And they figured out how to automate everything. And the first thing they did was, I'm actually not going to focus on client service. I'm going to focus on all the jobs to be done with client service.
How do I eliminate myself?
And exactly. And then they're overseeing all the systems so they can be highly, highly scalable.
And here's your action step. Write down the top 3 bottlenecks in your business or in business that you understand or you have access to. Maybe you know a lot of real estate agents. And ask yourself, could an AI intern handle them? Build a simple demo in Replit or with another no-code agent tool and run it with one of your customers for a week. Number 4, healthcare and wellness AI. Wellness AI is rapidly expanding, covering fitness coaching, sleep tracking, nutrition, mental health, and chronic disease monitoring. I am a person who struggles with really high cholesterol. I think they're gonna put me on statins. I've tried for a couple of years, but the thing is, I'm talking a lot to ChatGPT about my diet. But what I realized is that ChatGPT is not a doctor. So I'm using this app called Superpower that has a built-in AI. So Superpower not only has access to all my labs, but also to medical data. So I can ask it more specific questions about specific foods, and they're automatically gonna pull up research or whatever doctors say. And I will trust it more, because when it comes to these important questions like health, yes, sometimes you rely on ChatGPT, but you don't wanna rely on it too much. I also notice how sometimes I just use one thread to ask all the questions, and then I ask a mental health advice, and it's like, it's really bad. And somebody told me like, this is a tip for you to never ask for mental health advice in the same thread when you're using ChatGPT, because it can really mess things up. Anyways, for early founders, focusing on wellness products rather than regulated medical diagnostics is a practical entry point offering high growth potential. Look at Superpower, how fast they're growing. Have they built out a hospital? No. Have they made preventative healthcare more accessible? Yes. And they've raised from amazing, amazing investors. Learn from them. And here's what Reid Hoffman shares about healthcare. Where do you feel like the biggest change is going to happen with AI? Like what's going to be transformed? I'm hoping healthcare.
Well, I think healthcare is an obvious and very important one. Think about we have the technology today to have a medical assistant on your smartphone that's better than your average doctor, that's available 24/7 to everyone with a smartphone, that runs at under, call it a couple dollars an hour in terms of compute costs to run it. We should get that as soon as possible. That doesn't mean doctors out of work. There's all kinds of things for doctors to do, because among other things, The app may say, hey, these are the 3 things in most probability from these things, but then the doctor knows, oh, these are the things that I'm seeing in the symptom that you didn't tell the AI that's actually really important that we need to do. There's all kinds of, and a doctor can spend more time with patients because the AI, like, hey, look, I had this whole conversation with my medical assistant, and here's what I came up with, and goes, oh, well, let's spend more time on this one and spend some time because that's all faster given the economics of it. So I think that is clearly going to happen, should happen as fast as possible.
So here's your action step. Build a lightweight wellness tracker. For example, a Telegram bot that gives nutrition tips for a specific group of people, or a Chrome extension that analyzes your sleep diary. Keep it non-medical, and you can test with users immediately. Now, this is my favorite, educational AI products. I've built several in the past year. Education is already being reshaped by AI. We have adaptive tutors who can prepare you for exams, teach you coding, or even role-play job interviews. We launched a GPT-powered TOEFL prep coach that tracks students' weak points, adjusts lessons on the fly, and people are willing to pay for that because we also have a real teacher on the back end teaching our AI how to prepare students. Engagement is rising dramatically because every student feels like they have a private coach, somebody who tracks their progress.
Another one is a tutor for every subject on every age. And to make this kind of like a personal comment, like I've always been curious to understand quantum mechanics better because we have this whole new world of quantum computing and I'm trying to understand it. And I can repeat the stories that we read, but understanding it in some depth is one of the things I've always wanted to do. Well, now I have a tutor that's infinitely patient.
Yeah.
They can say, oh, here's the thing that you need to understand. These are the questions you have about what the observer effect in quantum mechanics is. And here are some of the ways to think about it.
The action step is pick one subject you know, English, math, coding, and create a simple AI tutor. Could be in Telegram. Share it with 10 students, get feedback, and improve it. The overall advice here for any business that you want to start or any product that you want to test, start small with a very, very specific group of people. And if you're listening to all of this and thinking, with so many niches opening up, how do you actually choose the right one? When I spoke with Aravind, the founder of Perplexity, whose company went from 0 to 20 billion in just 3 years, he told me the one principle that matters most.
Only thing you can bet on is whether you're so obsessed about a topic that you will do it anyway, regardless of all the odds stacked against you. And then you'll prove the world wrong because you go so far deep into that and no one cared about the problem more than you did. So I think build for yourself. Hopefully, that's a thing that a lot of people in the world want. And therefore, you can turn it into a scalable product and a scalable company.
To sum up, right now is still the perfect time to start. You don't need a research lab or billions in funding to start. You just need speed, focus, and the courage to act. The founders I've talked to, from Reid Hoffman to Aravind, all prove the same point. The biggest companies start small. A wrapper around ChatGPT, a voice tool for creators, a tool that helps one student at a time. So don't wait for permission. Don't wait for AGI and universal basic income. Pick one idea, launch your MVP this week, and test it with real people. That's how you go from zero to opportunity while the door is still wide open. The AI gold rush isn't coming, it is here. And the only question is, will you watch it happen or will you be part of it? And the thought that really keeps me motivated all the time is that we might only have 12 months to build our wealth. So off we go. Let's build our wealth.